Ever since I was a kid, I've been infatuated with scary stuff. From watching countless hours of Mr. Nightmare and hiding behind my brother's chair whenever he would watch Markiplier play Amnesia.
It's a BDSM alligator! A BDSM-agator!
Now, I've already made a video like this before, but this time...
Hey, what's good?
What are you doing here?
I came here to also talk about my childhood trauma.
Oh, yeah. Today I'll be joined by my best friend, Jamari. He will also be talking about 2 entries on here, talking about his experiences. Alright, enough blabbering, time to talk about stuff that scared me and my friend Jamari as a kid. As a kid, I freaking loved Goosebumps, watching it over and over again because I had no other source of good horror content that I could one-for-one relate to. I was never truly scared of any of these episodes, well, except for one specific episode, or 2 actually. The Werewolf of Fever Swamp. I first saw this episode one night when I was staying up late and supposed to be in bed. I was about to go to bed, but decided to just watch one more episode of Goosebumps. On came the opening, the introduction to our setting and characters, and then the episode itself. This episode was about this kid named Grady and his sister Emily not wanting to move into the Florida swamps. But since their parents are scientists, they thought, hey, let's let our kids explore a swamp in Florida. Which really is not that bad, but why a swamp of all places? While they're there, Brady meets some kid named Blake who's all like, yeah, this place is weird. And he soon finds out that there's a guy in the forest who's actually a werewolf who then infects him with said werewolf disease, and now Brady's a werewolf. I skipped over like most of the story, but that's all you really need to know. Now, why did this scare 11-year-old Jake? The setting was absolutely terrifying, and the way these episodes built tension just scared the absolute shit out of me. This episode alone blew the entire show out of the waters. No one could ever compete with it. Well, maybe Are You Afraid of the Dark does. And this episode left me absolutely sleepless for many nights, making me think every little sound is a werewolf coming to get me. Back then, I was extremely scared of werewolves. Now, I just whack off to them. Alright, well, that's my part. Now on to you, Jams.
When I was a wee little lad, I had a childhood built upon horror movies, most notably the Child's Play franchise. And even though I love those movies, my mother would much rather have me not watch something with a murderous possessed doll. Didn't stop me though. So she encouraged me to watch something more family friendly, but that still had the horror elements that I love to watch. Enter Goosebumps. Now, when I first got into the show, I watched it under the assumption that I was desensitized to any scares that would appear on screen. So I wasn't that excited watching the show. But boy, was 8-year-old me wrong. Because there was one instance that gave me quite the scare. This was an episode titled Revenge of the Lawn Gnomes. This episode is about a family who are running against their army head neighbor in a garden competition. And the father of our main family decides to buy these creepy, probably overpriced lawn gnomes. On the surface, that doesn't sound like a scary premise, but later on in that episode, they started to move in the dark. And the prosthetics and the makeup for these gnomes were terrifyingly good, but mostly terrifying. The way they moved compared with their faces and voice, and the fact that there were multiple of them, they were huge also, like the size of an average 6th grader. And the mystery element of this episode before they were revealed to be alive really spooked little old me. It was insane. Oh, and they also turned that neighbor into a gnome, but who really cares about that guy?
Oh Yeah 17 was a YouTuber back in the early 2010s that made Minecraft Ronald McDonald horror movies. Yeah, I know. And yes, this is what scared me as a kid, but also inspired me to make my own little series, which actually never came to fruition. But other than that, the first episode was terrifying for little me. This series alone is what made me hate Ronald McDonald and made me scared to go to McDonald's. I don't know why, because the series itself wasn't that scary. I actually did a rewatch of the series for this video, and honestly, it was alright. A bit amateur, but you kinda gotta expect that from a Minecraft video from 9 years ago. Rewatching the series, I felt a sense of comforting nostalgia, remembering the Minecraft world I made because of this series, which I might actually use as a video one day. Let me know if y'all would want to see that one day. But other than that, I would like to talk about something that's kinda sad. This guy had at least like 20 other videos or something on his channel other than the Ronald McDonald videos, and 2 urban exploration videos. It seems he either privated or deleted these videos, which kind of sucks because I remember them being pretty good. It sucks that we can't find these videos anymore, pretty much making them lost media. Hint, hint.
Growing up, I had a fear of my hallway. It sounds stupid, but listen. Back in my old apartment, I had my room set up in a very specific way. I would have the TV near the wall by the door, my bed in a corresponding spot across from the TV, my toy shelf near my closet, and a random couch that I never really sat on in the middle of my room. It was nice, but there was one thing that made it rather disturbing. The way my bed was set up made it so whenever I laid down, I would see my hallway, because I had a phase where I slept with my door open for some reason. Not fully down my hallway, though. Only enough to see the wall across, and never down it. It was pretty unsettling for me, because this was during a period in my life when I started to sleep without a nightlight. So it was just a dark, ominous, and almost endless-looking hallway of darkness, full of uncertainty and fear, and the little noises I would hear made it worse. Things like the floor creaking, my fridge making that stupid humming noise, and lots of other spooky stuff. So I asked my mom to let me sleep with my nightlight, again thinking it would help. Boy, was I wrong. The nightlight only made it worse, with it only lighting up a small portion of my room, showing me a bit of my hallway, but alas, never the whole thing. And to make things worse, my bathroom was literally down the hallway, so I would stay up for a long time at night contemplating if I should get up and risk it to use the bathroom, or just chill and wait till the morning. And it was almost always the latter. Until one night, I decided that I was hip, that I was going to use my bathroom in my house, and that whatever stood in my way would face my wrath. So I got up, walked towards the hall, and saw nothing but darkness. From what I could tell, was never ending. So I took one step, and another, until I heard the floor creaking, but at a fast pace, almost like something was coming at me. So I ran into my mom's room and slept there for about a few weeks. Now, I did watch a lot of horror stuff on ye old tube, and this was at the height of Five Nights at Freddy's 4's release, so that may have been a factor, but I'm just going to ignore that and blame the hallway.
Alright, I'll take it from here. This is the end, I guess. Like I said before, I don't know how to make outros. So if you like the video and want to see me make more, like, comment, subscribe, so you can keep me up in the algorithm, and join my Discord server down below. Alright, bye now.
You come here often, baby girl?